Coming up on this episode of Moto Giant Adventures, an old geezer rides to an old geezer. Then I spend several days camped in a rest area in the Desert of Idaho before traveling to a nuclear power plant and triggering a China Syndrome meltdown. Stay tuned. In the last episode, I spent a couple of 3 days up above the small town of Ephraim, Utah, before rolling out on Memorial Day, but I had a few stops in town before leaving.
So I'm in Spring City, and I saw this thing blew up in my face just as I came in. This looks like it may be original, which is kind of cool. Cute little town. I was told by a lady in the library that Ephraim's Scandinavian Festival started today, and it looks like they're wide open. And she said they've also got one in Spring City. Cute hippie town. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll head up there. Since they weren't quite set up, and I got here, and it's like there's nothing going on here. So I think I saw one sign, and I don't know, maybe I'm missing it, but I don't think theirs starts till tomorrow, maybe. Anyway, nice stop, cute little town, and of course that's pretty spectacular. Yeah. So I think I'm headed towards Provo, Salt Lake. I'm not really sure. Since it's Memorial Day, I don't really have any desire to be out in the woods where everybody's going to come flooding in. And they already have. As I was coming down the hill, there was just RVs everywhere. So everybody's going to be riding around on side by sides and whatever. And I'm thinking I'm just going to be closer to town, wherever I wind up. I was hoping it would be here, but I'm thinking maybe not. I don't know. We'll see what I can get into.
I really enjoy the small town charm places like this have to offer. And they're all over the place. You just have to slow down enough to see them and then slow down enough to visit.
I just rolled by these, take a closer look, went on the other side of the park, and these are little, I guess, Airbnb rentals, something like that. Except this, I didn't see a deck on the other side of that, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, all these train cars are converted into some kind of a living space. I don't know if they're rentals or what they are, but I thought that's kind of cool. They all got decks on the other side and big windows. I hope they're insulated. I can imagine those things get to be damn hot and cold. And there's the coffee depot. I wonder if it's just one big thing here. The old depot got turned into a coffee shop. The guy had a little bit of extra money left over and said, I'm going to make it into some rentals. Resort, lodging, drive. I mean, they are cuter on the other side when you see the decks.
Rolling up and out of the canyon and into Provo, I can remember the first time I saw this magnificent feature coming out of the canyon and seeing these big fans. I'd seen pictures of windmills before then, mostly from afar. I think I'd seen a few out in Texas way off, but I'd never been this close. And the first time I came through here in 2011, these things were just humming, and the wind was blowing through here, and I was like, this is amazing. And I was just kind of awestruck that not only these features existed out west, but the wind was driving them. And in this case, it was just one of those really slow, windy days, which goes to show you that alternative energy is not always the best choice. Just imagine if you could run your fridge because the sky was overcast, the wind wasn't blowing. Now give me coal, give me nuclear any old day. Just because this is you see this a lot out west. You know, half the time they're spinning like crazy, and the other time they're just sitting still.
Well, I'm about to leave all the petrified sand dunes behind and head up into the land of the volcanoes. Yeah, I love Idaho, and I just breezed through there last year. And I'm going to take my time. I'm going to spend as much time in Idaho as I spent in Utah this year. I think. It could get hot. It could get buggy. I don't know. I haven't even figured out where I'm going yet. The only thing that's on my radar is the first big town in Idaho that's on the map is Pocatello. I can go right. I can go left. I can go north. I can go west. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to go west because it's still kind of cool. Weather's kind of cool up there, and maybe I can go back out and see some things in the flatter areas down the mountain while it's still cool-ish, and rather than wait till summer is actually here. Actually, I think this weekend it is summer, and it sure is. The temperatures are turning that way too. It's going to be in the mid 80s, mid to high 80s, I think, in southern Idaho. So just had to take a break at this really cool rest area. Maybe probably is going to be the last one in Idaho. And I was just commenting on my daily update. There's some trees behind that other pavilion over there that are perfect for hanging, and they would be really nice to hang in. Got a nice view out here. The interstate's not that bad once you're behind this wall. It's a little loud, but you know, once the sun starts going down, traffic decreases, and then it's just an occasional vehicle. And I've never really had any problem sleeping at rest areas right on the interstate. So 2 hours to Pocatello, and then we'll figure out. I may stop somewhere before we'll get to Pocatello. I don't know. If I find another place like this as the sun starts going down, I may. If they've got a rest area like this on the other side of the border, I may wind up hanging there, especially if they got water. Gonna try something. I mean, that's how you learn stuff, right? You try. Might get in trouble, might not. Probably not, but I went up there and read the rules. I've never seen so many rules on a rest stop, but not a one of them said anything about not camping. So I've got 2 trees up there and a nice place to park the bike. Nice little picnic table, an open spot, and I'm gonna see if anybody runs me off. I don't think they're gonna run me off. I really don't. I was actually thinking that was gonna be my spot, but definitely those 2 of those 3 trees right there is going to be my spot. I forgot I got a can of chili. And I got a little bowl of rice just in case. And I've got, what have I got? I've got beef jerky. I got pretzels. Man, I'm good. I'm golden. I know my setup is really weird. Very exposed, too much light. It's too low to the ground. It's going to be very uncomfortable for me to get in and out of this hammock. But the issue I have is the irrigation. I don't want to get soaked at 2 o'clock in the morning. And you could say, well, put up your tarp. I'd have to wrap myself like a freaking burrito to make sure I didn't get wet. And even then, if the nozzle is coming up underneath you, there's no way to stop it. So It's called Upside Down Rain. So I think this is the best bet. I'm not worried about getting wet here at all, although it's going to be uncomfortable and it's too much light. I'll be fine. It's very quiet. I love this spot. So I'm crawling in. The biggest problem I've got is I'm gonna have to piss in the middle of the night. It's gonna be on concrete. Hopefully, just like every other time I've put something wet on the concrete, it evaporated pretty quickly. So hopefully I don't have to worry about somebody coming and going, "Why are you pissing all over the sidewalk, dude?" I'm like, I got one leg. It's really hard for me to get up in the middle of the night and I gotta piss and oh, please don't kill me. Well, maybe you can see the sprinkler systems already sprinkled. And it doesn't look like it's come over here this far, but it's sprinkling and it's not here. Just like I figured. Could have been pretty bad. Yeah, I think everything would have been fine if it wasn't for that freaking geyser right there in the corner. It's just shooting all over my bike. Get my tank bag wet. My little bag that holds my cooking pans and stuff. This side hasn't come on yet, so there's no telling what. I mean, I could have one of those geysers hitting me another 30 minutes, just blasting me over here. I don't think so, but I mean, you never know what's going to happen. I know that there's looks like there's a little soaker hose right over here on this tree. So hopefully that's not, I think it's pointed up this way, but hopefully it's just going to soak right there at the tree and no more. But I don't think the rest of the lawn's getting watered here, because all that's nice and beautiful green, and this is just kind of brownish and whatever. But I don't know. Maybe this stuff is getting watered too. I don't know. So I've been taking my time getting out of here this morning, and Idaho State Trooper rolled through. I don't know if he saw me, but he definitely saw me on the way out. He stopped right up there at the top. I thought maybe he would come down and say something. Maybe he's waiting for me at the exit so he can do a traffic stop. I'm absolutely sure I look a little bit like a criminal because it looks like I backed my bike in so you couldn't see the tag. Which makes me appear to be evasive. What do you Ever since the first time I visited Idaho, I've been telling people that it is the best kept secret in America. And when I tell the locals, they say, stop doing that. Stop telling people to come here. And one of the coolest things I love to see out here, in the West especially, is cowboys. And in this case, cowgirls. There's nothing sexier than a girl on a horse unless she's on a cool motorcycle. But yeah, that's just the thing I have about the West. Girls on motorcycles, girls on horses specifically out here. But yeah, it's really odd to see reservoirs out here because southern Idaho is a very dry piece of land, and seeing water anywhere out here outside of a canal where they're irrigating, it's quite unusual. I mean, they have rivers and they have lakes, but not in southern Idaho, so this is a unique feature. You don't see it much. And buddy, they fight over water out here. Soda Springs is the place that I wanted to visit. I heard they had a free, regularly timed geyser. It's basically on a timed valve system, but when I got out here, I was like, oh yeah, this kind of looks a whole lot like Old Faithful, except I don't have to wait in line for 20 minutes to get inside the gate. I just roll through town,
and it appears that everybody else knows what time this thing goes off to. I think it's the top of the hour. I can't remember exactly now, but yeah, you could just say, hey, let's be in Soda Springs at 2 o'clock, and we can watch the geyser. Or I would say maybe get there 5 till at least, so you can find a good place to park. And in my case, I got there about 30 minutes, so I could go to the bathroom, wash my hands, and put the drone up before everybody else arrived. And that was probably a good idea, because people started arriving. But not just that, I had to find a good shady place to sit, take my leg off give it a breather, and put the drone up before the machinery started working, and that's where I wound up sitting, right there next to the bathrooms.
Entertaining. Worth the, I don't know, 40-mile trip out of the way. I was hoping to ride the scenic byway, but it looks like it'll be dark before I get back to town. And I got what I came for. I'll tell you, even more entertaining is the bar right over here with these drunks screaming at each other. They're having fun, but it's entertaining to hear people screaming. I thought maybe they were excited about the geyser. Maybe they came over here to Stockman's. I thought maybe they came over here to watch the geyser and have a few drinks. But no, they're just drunk, hanging out inside that courtyard. That was funny. It's a cute little town. I mean, I've seen lots cuter, but as small as it is, they've actually put some effort into it, made it nice. And, really nice backdrop. And it's on the Oregon Trail. And my goal before I leave Idaho is to find some of those tracks, some of the Oregon Trail wagon wheel tracks. I've seen them before. It's been 15 years. Saw them on the side of the interstate years ago. Was very impressed. Very deep tracks. But they're supposed to be coming through the town. I don't know if there's any of them still left or. But, no, this is supposed to be where the Oregon Trail. I don't see any deep trenches or tracks. I just see drainage. But came through here, and I would imagine, 150 years of cattle grazing out here and farming and all that. Most of the evidence probably should have gone, I would imagine. But yeah, it's pretty cool to think all the traffic that came through here, wagon. Some tough, brave people looking for a better life. I think it's a very interesting story. I like people with balls, man. I like that adventurous spirit. I like people that go take something and make it their own. I just really love that idea. I'm gonna find me some tracks before I leave Idaho. I just love old homesteads out here. I think they're amazing. Maybe the most amazing thing is that thing's still standing after whatever, 100 years. All the snow that falls out here. My favorite is up north, probably in the same valley. Extraordinary. And in the background is the Tetons. I went and spent some time around that one, planting the wheat field over there. Extraordinary. I need to go back up there. So I'm at EBR 1. Was hoping to maybe peek inside the museum, but they closed like an hour and a half ago. So the second hope was maybe I could swing from yeah. And there's nothing else out here that's even close. And I don't have a half-gallon of water. But I thought it was really cool. And this is the world's first nuclear power plant right behind me. So, and you got some equipment over here. I don't know what the heck that stuff is. Looks like some kind of turbines. But it's cool. It's a cool little area. But I think I'll go on into Arco and see what I can find there. Kind of want some ETOH few beers or a pint or something. But I'm tired, man. I'm tired of riding. My ass is sore. My legs are sore. My leg is sore. I just kind of want to rehydrate and sit somewhere for a while. I just thought this was a cool spot, and I wanted to come out here. I figured I would have a slim chance of getting in, but I also figured, well, you know, if they're open daily, 9 to 5, I could hang here and be up first thing in the morning, but I don't know. It doesn't look like there's much of any place to hang. Let's roll over here to this little thing and make sure there's not some hangable device over here with a water fountain. I'm not holding out much hope. The ravens like the freaking machinery, though. They're up there. You know, I can hang in between those fences. Don't they do that? If there was water. There's water up here. Almost 100% sure there's no water. What those little things over back there. That would be kind of cool. If I had a gallon of water, I would hang here. If I had a gallon of water. I don't think I've got a half gallon. Trying to keep everything nailed down out here in the wind is a bit difficult sometimes. But one thing that you know for sure, if it's light, it's going to blow away. So just try to keep the heavy stuff on top of the light stuff, and just try to keep most of it out of the wind. There's a little bit of a block here with this wall, but wind's basically coming from this direction. So just finishing up a repair on the second repair on these glasses. You can see I'm kind of hard on sunglasses. I couldn't find the broken stem. This one broke, I think, at the hinge, and it's been holding up pretty well with the JB wheel. It doesn't fold anymore. This one folds now, but yeah, I've just got a little bit of a glue and some cedar, a little carved up cedar, and some reinforcing nylon strap. I don't know if it's going to fit my face very well, but I think it looks interesting. What do you think? I was sitting out here filming, facing the power plant, and I didn't notice that the storm had started forming behind me. I mean, it looks awful. And actually, that might be rain, but everything I've seen up until now has looked like Virga. It looked like maybe Virga was on the mountain. I think there was, last time I checked, it was like 40% chance of rain. But yeah, I'm kind of glad I hung out here now. Mostly because I'm not real worried about this stuff getting wet, because it'll probably dry up pretty quickly. But I could also just unhook there and pull this under here and throw it on the table or something to keep it out of the weather. Yeah, just unhook that one end and swing it. I think that would work just fine. I may just go ahead and do that just to see what it looks like. Yeah, I'm not sure if I've ever done this before. It seems like a no-brainer. Just unhook from the tree, get it up under the roof. Seems like a no-brainer, but I don't know that I've ever done anything like that before. I don't know how many times I've actually been hooked up to a pavilion and a tree combination. So yeah, I'm really getting into this whole rest stop. I mean, I think the biggest component for me, I've stayed at maybe a dozen different rest stops, some of them 2 or 3 times, just because they were convenient on the way home. But always there's this element of, you don't know if you're going to get woken up in the middle of the night, because I would say most of the rest stops I have experienced, at least east of the Mississippi, have all had signs on it. No overnight, no camping, no this, no that. Some of them had 8-hour limits, some of them had 12-hour limits, but they clearly don't want people throwing up tents in the rest area. So But over the years, I've gotten much bolder about it because I don't give a crap. A state trooper comes and wakes me up and says, "Hey, you can't be camping here." My answer is pretty quick, dude. I'm fucking tired. What do you want me to do? Everybody else in this fucking parking lot is sleeping, and that's okay. I can't sleep in my rig. I've had motorcycles that I could probably lean back in and nap on, but I can't do it on that. So, in the past few years, I've had an answer, and the answer was go fuck yourself or throw me in the back of your squad car if you think it's that important. So, yeah, I've been a little bit more militant about camping in rest areas, especially when I'm tired, especially when the sun's going down. Like, I don't give a fuck. I do not give a fuck. This is public property. You may have rules. And my guess is probably a lot of the rules are just for the extreme assholes, where you could say, hey, look, dude, you've been camping here 3 days and you're fucking shooting up and you're doing this. I'm gonna arrest you, or I'm gonna give you. There's something to deal with assholes, and probably those rules don't really apply, or they don't apply them to people, just travelers, just regular travelers, because I would think, a rest stop is not a fucking campground, but it's an area where you can camp if you need to. That's what I would say. But I can also see rest areas being, you can't get to the facilities because there's people camping, Nobody wants to see fucking LA and San Francisco and Portland and all that bullshit in their rest area. I understand that part of it, but also it's kind of a double standard. You can camp here as long as you're camping in your vehicle. Rest area. Rest area. Yeah, don't do like I do. I may spend 3 days in this fucking little thing. And I could see why, fuck, dude. But I mean, I'm in the middle of paradise. I am in the middle of fucking paradise. As far as I'm concerned, this is fantastic to me. I've got all kinds of great history here. I've got things that I want to see right there. 10 miles that way, and then around the corner at Craters. Craters has got their own campground, so I might, if I can find some trees over there, I might hang out there. I gotta tell you, I'm really glad I stayed put now, because the winds changed direction. Started raining. It's gotten really cold. I need to put a sweater on now that I'm so wet. I got me some chili going on, and everything's gonna be fine. Chili, baby. Chili, because I'm chilly, Yeah, when I got up this morning, there was a 0 chance of rain for the next 4 days. Actually, no, it was Tuesday was the next chance of rain, and I think it was like 20-30%. And then the clouds started forming over here, and I looked at the freaking forecast, and it went from 0 to 43% in about 2 hours. So I guess they saw the clouds, they saw the rain, somebody looked out the window, or somebody called in and said, "I just got wet, you son of a bitch." And they said, 0? No, it's the, hang on, tick, 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 tick. It's 43% chance of rain. I don't know what you're talking about. Wow, this chili is good, and especially that powdered hot sauce that I put in there, also known as crushed red pepper. I was wondering what it was going to be. I was like, how do you make powdered hot sauce? Dehydrate hot sauce? It's just crushed pepper. We got this coming up, hopefully. This has been bouncing around in my bag since Moto Madness, and I'm going to eat it. First, I got to finish my chili. The wind hasn't stopped. At least the rain has mostly stopped. I'm starting to be less in love with the weather. Old girl was lubed up, tied up, and ready to go. At least the local tour. And yeah, I had that thought of tying my handicap inside underneath the thing, and that's a good thing because I think everything inside there would be wet if I hadn't. And instead, just the underquilt got a little damp. It's mostly water resistant. You can see it beating up, but if it sits on there a while. But also, I think this will so dry out here that it'll dry out pretty quickly. At least before the sun goes down, I would think. Yeah, I'm fixing to try me some strawberry cheesecake. It's been bouncing around in my rig for quite some time now. Let's see what this thing looks like. You know, for some reason, stuff's been bouncing around in my food bag since Marshmallow Madness. Somebody gave it to me at the rally. I've never had Peak before, and I haven't tried it. Like I was trying to say, it's been bouncing around in my bag for 2.5 months. Anyway, I thought there was going to be some kind of prep. I thought you maybe had to boil water, so I was waiting on some special occasion, and then I read it's like, open, remove the oxygen absorber, and enjoy. And I'm like, ooh, I am going to have that right now. If I can get the bag open, my God, this thing. Yeah, I'm trying to keep an open mind for new products. I've heard Peak was really good. I don't know, because I've never had it. But like I said, I'm trying to keep an open mind. Oxygen absorber, don't eat that, kids. That's very interesting. So it's dehydrated. Looks like it's cheesecake bites, dehydrated, rolled in strawberry powder, I guess. Delicious. Yeah, I could see this putting a smile on somebody's face. And there's enough in here. It said 2 servings. I can see that being 2 servings. I can see me going, I probably should seal this up for later. And I'm like, yeah, tastes a lot like cheesecake and strawberries. So Peak's got a winner. I'd buy a pack of Peak right now. Still, it's $15, man. Their margins have got to be like 90%. I'm trying to get over to the museum, but it looks like every freaking time I start making a move towards the bike, it starts raining again, actual rain. And that's actual rain, not Virgo. That's actually hitting the ground over there. And it's hitting the ground here, just not as bad as it's hitting over there. So I'm going to put my camera on charge because I'm running low on all my batteries. And then hopefully 15-20 minutes from now I'll have enough battery juice to be able to go shoot some in the museum. Otherwise I'm gonna have to make it tomorrow because I don't know what else to do. I mean, it's only like 4 miles from here. Maybe what I should do is just wait a few more minutes and then make the mad rush. But the 2-for-1, I need to charge this battery because it's almost dead. So I'll do that and then see if I can make a run on the museum before it closes at 5. I'm not even sure that they're going to go away. They may not come over here, but I'm going to make a mad dash over to the museum because I'm tired of freaking waiting on the storms. And this might be my chance to get over there without getting soaked. I don't even know if I'll get soaked. It's such weird weather. Let's put it in first gear. We'll go faster that way. It's been a fantastic day. Sitting around camp, I think a reasonable person would never think, oh, that's pretty cool. You got to sit around a freaking rest stop, camp, It's been amazing. It's been an amazing day. No wonder to watch nature. It's fantastic.
I'm quite sure that the more you watch of me ranting about my feelings, my odd adventures, the more you hear me ranting, the more you think that I'm crazy. But I guess you really actually have to come out here and do it. And I would challenge you to. I would challenge you to come out and slow down and just relax and enjoy nature wherever you find it, even if it's in a little rest stop. But today I finally got out to see the world's first nuclear reactor that powered a town in the nearby town of Arco. But yeah, this place is pretty amazing. I've never really been that big of a fanboy of nuclear power or the engineering behind it, but it really is amazing, and it's very safe and very clean, unlike everybody that's hawking about it for the last 30 years because there was an accident. But anyway, most of the facility is still left intact, and it's being run and maintained. The museum is being run and maintained by the local and they maintain the facility, and it's just amazing. It's amazing what's left over, and you get to go into this place and see what it was like in the beginning. And I wonder what would happen if I pushed that button. Oh, 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 oh. Let me get out of here. On off. Gotta have a key to operate those, I guess. Everything looks good. That's right. Please do not play with the manipulators. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. How many panes of glass? I can't remember. It's a lot of panes of glass, but yeah. It's reflecting off of each one of them. How about that? That's kind of cool. Ooh. Yes, I'm a retard. This is fun. Fun little visit. I was trying to explain to the tour guide at the museum today what I've been doing today and why I was stuck here. I could not leave. I was enthralled by the beauty, the weather, that nice gentle breeze that picked up into insane breeze and turned into storms and all that. And I was trying to explain to her, and I really could not come up with the words. But the words I should have been able to say is, I've found these places before where I'm like, man, this is like $600 a night at a hotel with your with your deck extending out to the thing and whatever. If there was a river rolling through here, yeah, this absolutely would be $600 a night. And that's what I keep going back to, these places that I find to camp. And I go, there's no hotels out there that are perched on top of a river, perched on top of a canyon, perched on top of a mountaintop, looking out on this beautiful horizon. And that's kind of what I feel like I've got here. Is I have got a back deck on a hotel room that they're not charging me to stay here. And I'm like, I just don't want to leave. I just don't want to leave, even though the wind is kind of insane. Why I could not leave before noon today because I was having such a good time. It was like, I want to go over there inside that building and learn about nuclear history, nuclear power. Yeah, it sounds interesting, but I could just sit and chill here all freaking day, which is pretty much what I did. I mean, I went up going over there, 3:30, 4:35. I came and went, rode up to Arco, came back. But hell, I've enjoyed watching the people. That's what I was trying to tell her today. I was like, it's extraordinary. People watching, nature watching, watching the weather come in, looking at the beautiful mountains in the distance over there. It's really hard to explain with words. I just don't have the words. I don't know what the words are. Except this is a really nice freaking hotel that I'm staying in that's not charging me anything. Make sure you join me next time as I roll out of my free camping area in the desert and roll towards Craters of the Moon, an actual volcanic site, and crawl down into a cinder cone, which is a very, very unique experience. So you don't want to miss that. See you next time.